You are listening to Peak One Sports.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Sports Page on the Peak One Sports Network. I'm Ashton Nix, and here with me as always, Chris Robb. What's going on, Chris?
Nothing much, man. How's it going?
Doing good. I'm thinking I'm finally joining modern era rankings in video games. Not rankings, but I'm just figuring things out that have probably been common knowledge for a while. I usually don't invest in NBA 2K games. I pay for PlayStation Plus, which allows me to have certain monthly downloads and all that good stuff. And this month it was NBA 2K23, which was technically last year's version. And I downloaded it. And the last one I played, I think I had on PS4. Oh, I have a PS5 now. Following up on our conversation a couple episodes ago.
Right, yeah.
But NBA 2K20, I think, might be the last one I played.
That's the last good one.
Yeah, I like to do franchise mode or whatever it's called and carry a team and build a team. And I started one in NBA 2K23, and I didn't know you could start from different eras. So I started,
really?
give you the choice of like Magic and Bird era. Michael Jordan, right, starting at 91, right before his 2 3-peats. I think early 2000s and then modern day. So I haven't really started it. I started the franchise. I haven't played any games or done anything. I've changed some settings. But yeah, I started the Bird era. So it's going to start like 1983, I believe. And
is this like a single player mode, as in like you build your own player, or is it
build a team? I mean, you can build players, but you're controlling the whole team. It's not it's not like where you build your player and go for the draft and you make decisions based on your player.
That's still pretty cool. That's really cool. Yeah,
and it's a full franchise mode. You can do it online. You can control multiple teams. As far as I can tell, I haven't really started it. I just started it today. As far as I know, it's has everything that they've had in the last couple of NBA 2Ks, but you're just starting from 1983.
Yeah,
which I like it. And I put it the settings where you have the real draft classes, the real life players. So I think it'd be the next one, 84, would be Michael Jordan's draft class.
Jordan. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, the last good 2K to me was 2020. 2K20. That was an amazing one. I was in the park all the time, up to like 3 a.m. playing. But don't they also have on there the like the Michael Jordan moments? Like game modes.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
Yes. Yeah, they have all different types of gameplay. If you listen to me on any other shows here on the Peak One Sports Network, I probably talked about it on this one. I'm all about dynasty mode, building teams, creating storylines with all that. That's just something I like to do. But
I love that.
Yeah. Make sure, I know we're going to get a bunch of comments about me not knowing that you could do those. It may be the third year that you've been able to start different eras, but I thought that was pretty cool. That's something I've always wanted to do. I'm like, starting from today, I'd rather back it up a few years, but whatever.
If I were to do it, I'd probably start in like the 2000s. That's like the prime era, maybe the 90s. I like the 90s too.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I'm eventually gonna get there, but I don't know how the AI is set up where obviously I'm going to affect how the season goes. So does the AI know that Michael Jordan gets picked third? If the Bulls don't have the third pick, are they still picking Michael Jordan? Is it set up where the Bulls are picking up Michael Jordan unless I physically change it? I don't know. That's going to be interesting. So
they'll probably keep it the same because it's 2K23. I'm sure they'll probably keep it the same. That's interesting though. Let me know, like if they do change it, because I understand what you're saying. If you like beat teams and it can change up the draft
Yeah,
order.
do they
Yeah.
have it set up where Jordan's
Yeah.
going third?
Hmm.
How Sam
To the Bulls, no
Bowie's
matter
going
what.
number one, regardless of who
Hmm.
the teams are, or are they going to make it where the Bulls draft Michael Jordan with their first pick and all that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a show. I don't know if we'll do a
We
show on it
could.
because
We
it's kind of
probably
an old game now.
can.
But yeah,
Yeah.
100 subscriber challenge. I know we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. Our numbers are growing, man. We're going to get to 100
Yeah.
subscribers here in the next few weeks. Uh, I know the Bungalow Sports Show is going to do some sort of triathlon type payoff,
Hmm.
maybe with shot callers. I don't know. They keep shooting it down, but the listeners keep reviving it. I don't know. Let us know what you want to do. Jump on their show too,
Yes.
and comment. Here at the Peak One Sports Network, we're going to be giving away a merch package, if you will. It's going to have a shirt, a Peak One shirt, some hats, some of our advertisers merch too, stickers, all kinds of stuff. Really, all you have to do to win is subscribe and comment somewhere at some point on our videos. That's the simplest way to put it. It's just going to be a random comment. But hey, you may get extra points for sharing us, tagging us, social media, commenting very often.
Hmm.
Because man, it's subliminal messaging. We may not intentionally do it, but we see your name enough. We,
You could just like,
over and
yeah.
over again, we might pick you.
Right.
Just saying,
Hmm.
make sure you keep that in there. Like I said, subscribe, comment on all our on all vehicles, on all of our shows, and
Yeah.
listen to all of the Peak One Sports shows. However, you listen to podcasts, link is down below.
Hmm.
Today, we're going to talk about a few different topics, a little bit, being a little different than our normal platform. Just broke, as of when we record this episode, I believe it was just yesterday, the great and mighty PGA Tour
Mm.
announces their plans to merge with the Saudi-funded upstart LIV Golf. Uh, really surprising everyone, maybe with the timing.
Hmm.
What's uh, where were you? Do you even remember? Is this even a big story to you, where you were like, "Hey, holy crap, this is interesting"?
Not the biggest story. It was, I mean, I was interested. Like I definitely looked into it. Like I, heard about it, um, read up on it. I'm kind of like a casual golf fan. So I'm not like a
Yeah,
huge golf fan. I come around, Masters times, like, they're just like the kind of the bigger events. I'll sit down and watch golf, but um, you know, I think the PGA Tour, they're just trying to expand it. It sounds like they're just trying to, I guess,
neutralize a threat.
neutralize the threats. Yeah, it's almost like WWE trying to, you know, I guess partner with like AEW or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, something like that. But yeah, how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm when it comes to golf being a spectator sport, I'm a very much a casual fan.
Hmm.
I love playing golf, and you might catch me with the tournament on in the background.
Hmm.
Um, on weekends at home, I'm interested in watching it. I don't keep up with it as much as
That's
I
me.
probably should. I know, like the major tournaments, the majors are technically not even PGA events per
Hmm.
se, which I don't understand at all, because the live golfers were able to play in the majors, but they can't play in other.
Yeah,
I don't understand a
yeah,
lot of that.
yeah. I still don't understand it.
I
That's
don't
why.
pretend to understand. I know different tournaments,
Yeah.
depending on if it's run by the PGA, they have different playoff scenarios where, hey, we're just going to play a couple playoff holes. There's some that they just do another 18 rounds the next day.
Hmm.
Um, I don't pretend to know about all that, but I do know um, the PGA's stance on the Live Golf Tour, and they made statements saying players who joined Live would be forced to resign from the PGA Tour and its European equivalent, DP
Hmm.
World Tour.
Yeah.
Uh, they would they threatened them with suspensions, fines. Live sued PGA, PGA countersued it, all all that
Hmm.
jazz. Um, I tend to keep my politics and political thoughts out of sports when I can. Uh, Sometimes it's just the stories are bigger than sports itself, and you can't ignore it, and it is what it is because sports is kind of uh, a release or an escape from
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I understand things that have gone on in Saudi Arabia. I keep up with politics, but I don't claim to even really understand. I'm definitely ignorant on the subject of exactly what human rights issues and all that good stuff. We're not going to talk about that. Um, I thought it was a cool concept to have a competing golf league. It was ridiculous the money they were paying them. I wasn't going to stop watching or stop supporting it as much as I do. I don't buy golf apparel based on who wears it. Like I said, I play golf. It's, whatever I can get for the cheapest. Honestly, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a good enough golfer
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
need to worry
Yeah.
about wearing this or using these clubs or whatever.
Yeah.
Support as much as, hey, I like this golfer. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So golfers that went and played in live, I didn't care. I thought it was fun, the bickering going on back and forth. I understood PGA stance, and I understand their point of neutralizing this threat, saying, hey, we're starting to lose money. The thing is, though, some things can't be unsaid. And when you're going to go to the length to be more moralistic, if you will, if that's even the correct terminology,
Mm-hmm.
to put your morals in place to make your business decision, all power for you, all power to you. Like I said, I bravo to LeBron James to all the stuff he does politically. I may not agree with it. I'm not one of those people to say, hey, stick to basketball. You have a platform, you
Mm-hmm.
want to use it, great. We're going to use this
Mm-hmm.
platform for certain things that people may not like. I mean, we're going to keep it, not for political reasons. You do you, man, whatever you want to do. And that's what PGA did. They ran their smear campaign for their golfers saying, we're never going to do business with, live golf. You golfers can't do that. And they tried to put it as a sense that, hey, we don't agree with what you're doing morally, so we're not going to let you be a part of the PGA Tour, this league,
Yeah.
or whatever the entity would correct wordage is. And then all of a sudden it's like, never mind, we're fine. Let's just merge. Let's get everyone back together and
Exactly.
we all knew what it was. It wasn't PGA being having high morals. It was, we're going to lose money from this. We're not that threatened by it, but we're kind of threatened a little bit enough. So we're just going to downplay it, talk bad about the golfers. If we threaten them enough, we'll keep all the good golfers. And I guess it backfired on them, and they said let's merge. Which again, I'm fine with whatever decision you want to make. It's your business. It's whatever. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm ignorant to the fact. I'm not going to stop watching or stop buying this or that or whatever, because I think that's a slippery slope. If you start with one thing, you really have to really question the products you buy and the stuff you watch, because
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's a really a weird way to go. And if you're listening and you do that, you only buy this or watch this because of that, great, more power to you, no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But to backpedal like this and seem like hypocrites is kind of
I
ridiculous.
mean, yes, it's a lot that goes into it. Money, uh, main factor, probably the main factor. So like, you know, I don't really take into account like, I understand like it's business. I know the dollar is the most important thing for a lot of people at the end of the day. So, um, whatever makes the most at the time, and what it makes sense. It made sense, for them to merge. But you gotta, like you said, you gotta. If you have comments and you've been saying this all these years, like it just kind of looks like it doesn't make sense from the outside. But I understand why they did it.
Yeah, I don't judge somebody for selling out, because I can't say that I would, if we grow
Exactly.
Peak One Sports and ESPN comes and offers us all this money to be fake like Skip Bayless and other guys. I'm not going to necessarily say I wouldn't say. I'd probably say yes. If you wanted to pay me a couple $1 million a year,
Yeah.
what do I think, ESPN? Tell me what my thoughts are on this.
To
Um,
hate LeBron for for forever. Yeah, I mean, I would. I'm not
uh,
gonna lie to you.
yeah, exactly. LeBron's the worst player that's ever played basketball.
Right.
What's right, I don't judge, but it's funny how hypocritical it is. And again,
Yeah.
I've said it many times. I like the chaos. I think this is a fun thing to talk about, regardless of obviously the political issues involved. Um, Really, the business part of it, which may be covered on a future episode of Sports Biz. If you haven't checked that out, go check them out. Sports
Hmm.
Biz with Tony Nix. The PGA Tour would remain a nonprofit organization. It would retain full control over how its tournaments are played. Sorry, I'm obviously reading this. I didn't want to fudge it up and try to memorize this. But all of
Hmm.
the PGA Tour's commercial business and rights, uh, such as the extremely lucrative rights to televise its tournaments, would be owned by a new yet unnamed for-profit entity that is currently called NewCo. NewCo will also own LIV, as well as the commercial and tour business rights for the DP World Tour, which like I said earlier, is the PGA's European counterpart or
Yeah, yeah.
equivalent. Uh, so basically, this NewCo, whatever it's going to be called, is over PGA and LIV, but PGA still retains its nonprofit organization, whatever the hell that means.
Hmm.
Um, and again, I think the big issue here is like, man, Phil Mickelson got drugged through the mud, but he comes out a winner. Brooks
Yeah.
Koepka, other live golfers who got all this money, but man, well, what sucks is maybe not Tiger Woods because he's got a ton of money anyways, but Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, players that stuck to the PGA, and now it doesn't matter anymore.
Doesn't even
They're
matter.
merging, and they're not. And this was clearly not discussed with some of them. Maybe higher ranking players, but I mean, Rory McIlroy is a big deal, and he just said
Yeah.
the other day that European players who are involved with Live Golf should not be allowed on the Ryder Cup.
Hmm.
He just said that the other day, and now they're merging, and it looks like players on the Live Golf Tour will be allowed to be on the Ryder Cup team. Pretty awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fallout
Very.
continues. PGA just looks. Yeah, I'm looking right now. It's just more and
Yeah.
more fallout. I
Yeah. I
mean, we
mean,
can only
I'm
keep up
lucky.
with this recorded show, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of excited just to see what happens because like I already know it's going to be a lot of pushback. From higher, like the higher top golfers, even like the all golfers really that were against it. I'm kind of excited just to see like the Twitter, the comments that are made about it. So we'll see.
yeah, maybe some of that
Yeah,
live money will get pushed around. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe I'd be upset if I try to stay loyal.
yeah.
Did get the thing, but hey,
Mhm.
hey guys, go check out the Bungalow Sports Show. Not right now, obviously. Finish this show. We mentioned them earlier, but Bungalow Sports Show is on every Monday on the Peak One Sports Network. You can go listen to this week's episode. Cole and Joey chat about vacations. That was pretty interesting vacation time. How to strategic ways to take your vacation. The Stanley Cup final and Major League eating.
Yeah,
Today, or I mean, already today. Next, we're going to talk NBA Finals. Game 3 is tonight at the time of this recording.
hmm,
Series tied 1-1 going into Game 3. What's
yeah.
what's your thoughts so far? Is it kind of gone how you thought it would? What were your thoughts? What was your pick before the series started? Has it changed?
Uh, well, I actually picked the Nuggets in 5. I didn't really think Miami had much. I don't want to say much of a chance, but I feel like they, top to bottom, I feel like the Nuggets are just a better team. Um, but they found a wrinkle that I wasn't thinking about before. And Jokic, he's such a great passer, and he's a willing passer, and he wants to pass. But last game, they were like, just score as many points as you want. We don't want the
Yeah,
kick out because how Denver has been the best offense in the league. They'll close down on Jokic and he'll kick it out to, they have Jamal Murray, they have Michael Porter Jr., KCP, and, they get all these open threes. And, they were like, okay, like, just score as many points as you want. And he had 40 something. And
41
then,
points. Yeah,
yeah,
41
and
points in
they
that
ended up,
loss.
yeah, they ended up losing. So, whenever Jokic has a triple double, whenever he has 10, 11, 12 assists, they're pretty much unbeatable. And they were undefeated in like at home all year up until that point. and they were just like, let them score. And I think that was a big adjustment. I'm curious to see what Denver does because Miami, they're a tough group. They play defense, they can score. There's not really Jimmy Butler's a superstar. He's not like the scoring, like he's not like the KD, like LeBron, but he is a superstar. And the fact that Bam is playing so well, I didn't really think he would play as well as he has so far this series. You got veteran leadership with Kyle Lowry. Kevin Love has won a championship as well. So it's gonna be a good game. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I still have the Nuggets winning the series. I have them winning in 6 now, as opposed to 5. But we'll see about tonight. It's a big game.
Yeah, tonight's really where we're gonna find out what might happen. Obviously, it's a cliche, but go to peak1sportsnetwork.com and check out an article I wrote, kind of previewing Game 3. Little plug there. Yeah, Joker at 41, and when what you say kind of holds true. It's kind of like when Luka scores a lot of points for the Mavericks. Most of the points he goes out and has a 50, 60 point game.
Yeah.
Those games are close games.
Yeah. Very close.
When he scores 25 and kind of everyone around him gets a lot of different, you spread the points out, they seem to win. In this instance, scores 41, they lose. I had Nuggets winning in 5. I'm going to stick with Nuggets winning in 5, although, it's a cop-out, but it really depends what happens tonight. Because they had Game 2. Heat came back. Now,
he did come back, yeah.
Miami we can see how they transition that, going back home now, and see if they can capitalize on that. But when you kind of have a fluky game like that, where in 8 quarters, the Nuggets have won 7 of them. They let one get away from them.
That's true.
We'll see what Jimmy Butler can do. He needs to step up and take over. Like you said, Bam, he's the leading scorer in the series for the Heat. It's only 2 games, but still. Butler was scoring 50, 40 points against Boston, against Milwaukee. And he has 13 points in Game 1. He had 21 last night, but he needs to step up. This team, obviously isn't built like the Nuggets. The Nuggets don't feel like huge favorites, but they are. The Heat technically are the 8th seed because they lost in the play and they were the 7th best record, but barely made it out of the play and then just makes this run. The Nuggets need to take care of business.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, this almost feels like, because like you said, they're favorites, but I think in Vegas they were the 2nd highest favorite since the Warriors whenever they played the Cavs, whenever they got KD. So they're predicted to sweep pretty much, and they just need to go out and get it done, man. It's like it's there, like you said, they won 7 out of the 8 quarters in the last 2 games, and they just kind of let one get away, and they almost came back. They were down double digits with a couple minutes left, and they were 1 shot away from going into overtime. So, we'll see. I love these type of games. I'm very excited to see what happens.
The Betalytics dashboards allow you to quickly identify the top graded best bets and hottest trends. Betalytics uses AI machines to learn algorithms and create accurate game simulations, player prop projections, betting line evaluations, and best bet recommendations. Use promo code PEAK1 for 25% off when you sign up today. Go to Betalytics.com to start betting smarter.
Gotcha. Yeah, so usually I'm going to try to keep my power rankings consistent for the MLB. I'm going to try to keep posting them on Monday nights. But my power rankings for this week, so I had Tampa Bay holding firm. They've been number 1 the whole season so far. They've just been the best team so far as far as like a
far and away, but they have like a 4 or 5 game lead on
exactly
anybody else.
And then you have Texas. So the Rangers there, they have the best point differential in the league. most runs scored in the league. It's gonna hurt because Jacob deGrom is going on Tommy John surgery, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I
you
was
know they
hoping
want.
they that like, hey, maybe this will is a blessing in disguise, get him a lot of rest,
Mhm.
and he goes strong for you in the playoffs. But
Yeah,
maybe that's the plan next season, because obviously he's
yeah,
probably out for a season and a half. We're probably looking
yeah.
at July of next year before he's even going to come back.
Yeah, so hopefully they can, still hold serve. But they won 5 straight, 8-2 in the last 10, plus 155 point differential. So they're skyrocketed to number 2. They weren't even, in my like top 10 at first, but
And
yeah, they're number 2.
that's the weekend series too. Rays
Mm-hmm.
Rangers.
Rays
So
Rangers,
you're
yeah.
gonna
So that's gonna be a big one.
the Rays. I mean, not a huge surprise. Maybe a surprise that they're doing so well. You knew they were gonna do all right, but huge
Yeah, they
surprise
started
for the
out.
Rangers.
Yeah, they started out. They lost like 5 games in the first 30 or something. It was like something crazy. So,
Yeah,
definitely, that's definitely a one to
big
look out for.
big test for both teams. We'll see who
Hmm.
they really are.
Yeah. Um, I had the Astros at number 3. Started out slow,
Very
but
slow.
they,
Yeah,
yeah, but they've come on in the last couple months.
got
6-4 in the
Altuve
last.
coming back. That's gonna help.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they're number 3. Number 4, I have Baltimore. Been consistent in my. They've been 3, 3 and 4, 5 in my power rankings the past month or so. That's their. I don't want to call that surprising to me, but I kind of because like Baltimore is they. I guess the past couple of years they've been pretty good, but like yeah, it's especially this year, just kind of out of nowhere for me. I didn't really expect them to be, as good as they were, and then they went on a hot streak. I think they won like 8 straight, 9 straight, or something like that to skyrocket up into my top 5. So they're number 4. Rounding out the top 5, the Yankees. Pretty consistent the past couple weeks. The AL East, only division that have every team over 500. That's
In
so
your
that's
power
a big
rankings, you have
division.
all 5 AL teams, right?
Yep,
Yeah, I
yep,
saw that and I was like, does
yeah,
he do an AL and NL power
yeah.
rankings?
Nope,
No, that
yeah. I have the Dodgers were number 6. Um, but pretty
they've
much,
fallen. Diamondbacks are in first place
yeah,
now. I
they've
mean,
been,
the
yeah, because the
AL
Dodgers were kind of.
Central is just,
Hmm.
I don't know. You
Yeah,
had the Pirates going up there, and they're kind of coming back now. They had a lull for a while.
yeah, and they were also a team that was in. They were like number 2 and number 3 at one point.
Yeah,
And then they had lost like 5 straight, 6 straight, and especially if everything's so competitive, a lot of the teams are going on win streaks. They're being consistent. The Rangers are, like I said, they're the best offense in baseball so far this year.
yeah. I
So
mean,
it was hard not to.
as of right when we're doing this recording, they have like
Yeah,
the top 5 of the top 6 in run score players in
yeah,
run
and it's
scores
like I think it was Aaron Judge or something like that. It
is
might
the
be
only other one, and then
yeah,
like 3
mhm.
out of the top 5 in RBIs. It's ridiculous right now.
Yeah,
I
that's
know it can't
crazy,
hold up, but you know,
man. Yeah,
where's it going to even out? I mean, because they've
exactly.
proven they can win 2-0 games, they can win 15-5. It's
Yeah. Just won
yeah,
3-2. And they I feel like at this point in the year, I feel like you are who you are at this point because
yeah,
you're
with a strong
uh, it,
farm system with guys coming up, and then
mhm,
obviously, I mean, your position players and your hitting is great. You probably don't
mhm,
even need to really look at trading there,
yeah,
unless just something comes up. And I guess now you could probably look at a starting pitcher because of Degrom. But their starting pitching has been great, and really it's just relievers, and those are
mhm,
relatively cheap to get. So you're not
yeah,
having to clear out your farm system. I mean, the Rangers are in a really good position, a
yeah.
couple of years ahead of schedule, what I thought they would be.
Yeah,
But
I remember we talked about it on a show probably last year or something. And we were saying how, they're probably a few years away from, being because whenever they got Simeon and we thought they were probably a couple years away, but
if they would
yeah,
continue to
they're
spend, yeah,
incredible.
and it
Yeah,
really
yeah,
depends how they're able to develop. Obviously, you can
yeah,
say that about anybody, but
yeah,
uh, things are looking up for the Rangers.
yeah. So yeah, that's my top 5.
Guys, thanks for listening to this episode of the Sports Page. Tune in to the Sports Page every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central on the Peak One Sports Network. Make sure to subscribe, follow us, all that jazz. I'm Ashton, that's Chris. See y'all guys later.
Yeah, see you guys.